Have you ever thought that you love cheese so much that you actually want to wear it? I don't know exactly which color because I just ate my reference. I'm sorry, this is very dumb. Can I make cheese fashionable? I know, this is going to be a weird one. I was taking a little break from creative projects because it's the summer, there is a heat wave, the views are low on YouTube because people are just chilling outside. I mean, I get it, but I do have an event coming up. You may know that I am going to the Conquest of Mytholea in Germany, which is this huge LARP. Yeah, I'm that kind of nerd. Come to the basement. Yeah, this is my house. I made that! Anyways, besides being a huge nerd, I'm also a fashion girly and I love to make very silly outfits. So this event in Germany is becoming my favorite event of the year, and our group, which is a very silly group, we plan on being the most French. In a very goofy way, which means we're all about wine and cheese. And as I was having a little snack like any respectable French person would, and it was really hot. Remember how I always tell you to exercise your creative brain and stay open-minded because you never know when inspiration will strike? I think I have an idea. Well, today we are going to make an outfit inspired by cheese. Come on, let's go to the sewing room. Let's go and design something, shall we? So, I want to design something for that LARP, but that I also want to wear on an everyday basis. I want to make the whole thing in many pieces so I can adjust them with different styles, but I also want, if I put them all together, to make a huge cheese monster. I know, that's a lot of constraints. This is such a dumb idea. Anyways. What I'm interested in is having a few pieces that are very lightweight. I think these in a yellow cotton with the hole will be very fun and also very easy to make. I've been also very inspired by melted cheese, like an outfit that is just melting on the body. That could work really well for like an ice cream dress. And if the thing turns into kind of a monster, I also need to make some big pieces that are removable. I don't know, a hat, hands. I don't know. So I think I'm gonna go with a tight top. The skirt, which looks like slices of emmental, is gonna be in 2 pieces, and they can add all the pieces wherever it looks nice. Literally make it like a head made of cheese and some battle cheeses hand. I don't know where this is going. So this is the fabric I could gather, anything that is cheese like a sort of cheese rainbow, if you will. I don't know exactly which color because I just ate my reference. They are all very lightweight cottons. This one has a bit more body, but I don't have much, but I think it's going to be enough to make like the 2 pieces of sliced cheese. I'm sorry, this is very dumb. And also I thrifted this skirt a while ago, but I don't really wear it, so I think it's going to be a nice base. Let's start with the slices of cheese. I think I'm gonna start with a small piece of cheese. So if I start with a small one, it could be like layers. That could be fun. I'm gonna start by sewing the edge of my square of cheese. I don't know what happened here. I think I melted the fabric a little bit. So if I close it up, I can worry about the holes later. Yellow, 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 yellow. Okay, so I do have enough fabric for my 3 cheese pieces. I've made some testing to make the holes. This is making a hole, folding the fabric and just sewing around. As you can see, I did a very bad job. And this is using a very tight zigzag stitch. I know there are other methods to make cutouts, but for this, since I'm going to have a lot of holes everywhere, it's going to be a nightmare if I have to put the fabric, the shirt inside out all the time. So I think the zigzag is going to be the best option. Also, I'm going to make holes that are not round, and also I think it does look too bad on the side, so I have to think of the holes on the edge before I close the skirt, if that makes sense. I'll show you. With the edges neatly in place, I can now decide where to put all the little holes, and to visualize that I'm cutting some random shapes out of scrap paper. I think I have enough holes. It's weird that I have to make holes separately and add them when they are not there. Wow, so deep. Anyways, so do we have enough? I don't know. I think I'm gonna start with those and we'll see if I add more and more, maybe like small ones to make it more organic, more realistic, but it's already looking so fun. Let's go. I traced the circle with some white chalk and pinned the fabric around it to secure it before I sew it, working under very strict supervision, of course, because this is a very serious project. So this is cutting the hole, then doing the zigzag all around it. And this is doing the zigzag first and then cutting the hole. And I think this looks way nicer, much cleaner. The circles are drawn in chalk like this. I have pinned around it, so I'm going to first have a single stitch on this line and then do the zigzag and then cut it out. So we have the holes sewn in, I don't know if you can see them. Now I'm just going to use this friction marker to make sure that the hole is just more round. Like here, I didn't do a good job of drawing my circle, so just going to clean it up like this. Now we go back to the machine, select zigzag, make it super dense, maybe smaller, and here we go. Well, this is not perfect, far from it, but I guess this is an organic shape, so it should be okay. You can see that I did struggle a lot here. I guess I have to train more in doing freehand shapes with the machine. I guess with what I can do now is cutting the holes open. I need to be very careful so I don't cut through the stitches that go around the hole. But my secret plan is that this fabric is the only one that is actually a blend, maybe a lot of polyester in this, so I can melt the edges when they are cut so it doesn't fray. I hope this will save my holes. I should stop saying hole now because I will get in trouble with YouTube. And now we use fire. I don't know what's gonna happen with the waistband yet, so let's just figure out the top situation. And that implied some delicious research. Delicious research, that's hard to say. On what are the different colors of melted cheese. So I think I'm gonna go with a little top in this yellow and this yellow. I don't have much of this one, if you remember, it's like it's the shirt that I made last year. I only have this, but that should be enough for a little top without sleeves. And with another layer in this yellow, I think I can melt, and I can make something that is kind of melting. The design idea is like blobbish. I think I'll just randomly drape and we'll see where it goes. If you don't know about draping, it is basically like sketching directly on your mannequin. I would highly recommend you learn the basics of this technique if you want to make your own ideas come to life, especially if they are a little weird. So I've just draped a very simple two-piece top, nothing fancy. I don't even know where the opening is going to be. There is a bit of room on the side, so it's not like super tight. And I think I'm going to make the melted cheese in 2 layers. So it's just 2 colors, 2 fabrics. One that is just above the waist, so it's like a crop top, and one is coming around the bust line. And if I make them two separate layers, it might like flop a little bit, so it really looks like it's two layers, just like the skirt is several layers. In my mind, it works. Let's try to see if we can make it happen in real life. Feutre. So let's do something that says cheese. Now the second layer, maybe we can have like a big drop around the boob. Maybe we can have something asymmetrical with the neckline as well. Okay, actually I think I'm gonna have it close on the side with just a tiny button or maybe hooks and eye, so we can make it very short on the side. Is it going to look good? I don't know, we will see. Let's transfer these lines to paper. I'm literally just drawing around my shapes. So this shall be the first layer. Is it the weirdest piece of pattern that I've made? Probably. So let's cut it out twice in this light yellow fabric. Holding the fabric in place while I cut with some fabric weights, which are still not pineapple slices, but thank you for your questions. We have the darts here that are sewn, and before I finish the bottom edge, I think I want to add a bit of volume to that. And for that, I think I have the perfect material. One second. Batting! So the idea is to have a little strip of this material all around the bottom edge, so it can like bulk up the edge and make it look like something gooey. I don't know if it's going to be too big, we'll see. I really want to try this. This edge is sewn to the batting. Let's remove the excess and see how much we leave on the inside. So here is the fit. The batting is pulling like this. So I might just keep only a little bit on each drop of cheese. Yes. I want to give a big shout out to my Patreon members, who are mostly what's keeping me and my channel afloat. You are so supportive of my projects, even when I make this kind of stuff. Thank you so much. So if you want to join, I'll just put the link to the Patreon below. If the two pieces were hanging completely flat against each other, I will just use that part as a pattern. But I'm going to add a little bit of ease to that so it can flop kind of a little bit out of the top. And for that, before I copy this piece, I'm gonna make two little slits to it. Should be enough. So I've retraced this piece on those papers. It's in 3 parts, so I'm going to do this just a slightly amount and tape them together. Here it is, as you can see, it's just very small triangles over there, but that is just enough so this piece will have a little bit of ease to flop around on the other one. Et voilà, same for the front. I added those 2 triangles instead of this. And you can see it really nicely because if I try to make the 2 neckline match in here and here, I have to push it up. And you can see that it is pushing this fabric a bit outside of this one. That is the plan. I think I just have enough left of this one here to make all the pieces. Correction, I did not have enough for all the pieces, but here we just have a little piecing. It's gonna be on the back. No one will know, except you. I think this will be enough. I just want a little bit of volume, like here, and the rest can stay flat. It's been a few days. I don't remember where I was. Some kind of belt to attach them. Also, I got some new shoes. 3 euros. Okay, now I remember. The heat is making me just so dumb. I feel like my brain is just working at a very much slower pace. Anyways, this is the waistband. Some buckles. I would add them on each side of the belt, making a little tunnel of fabric here. Turning it inside out. Ironing the buckle here, and then it goes inside the belt. Okay, let's sew this down. Now buttons and buttonholes. Buttonhole fit for the machine. Ironing with hot steam right now. We are done on the first part of this project. which is the everyday wearable outfit. Okay, so I say wearable, but I know it's not to everyone's taste. I think it's a fun and exciting outfit. You can style it plenty of different ways. I mean, what if you are invited to a fondue or any dinner, really? I've actually posted the pattern on Patreon already, but you can still have it. I will link it below somewhere. What if you made that top in white and pink? Suddenly it's ice cream. I think this outfit screams, I'm the pièce de résistance and there's nothing you can do about it. At least with this, I can visually express my love for cheese. I asked that question to a bunch of creator friends. Here are their answers, and let me know in the comments what is your favorite cheese and how many of these creators you follow on YouTube.
When Ariel asked me, hey, what's your favorite cheese? I knew this was the most important question any human being can ever ask another, and there was no way I was going to limit myself to just one cheese. So here is my scientifically tabulated holy trinity of cheeses. Number 1, feta. It's the cheese that I eat the most because it doesn't give me upset tummy disease. Number 2, brie, my first love of cheese, the cheese that opened my eyes to what cheese can be. And number 3, goat cheese with blueberries. That's the cheese that I want to eat right now. I really want to eat that cheese.
I'm a sucker for a good cheddar.
For this hard question, I'm gonna go with a hard cheese. I like Comté. I could just sit with a whole block of Comté, which is embarrassing to say out loud. I'm sticking with it. It is tasty, fantastic on a cracker or just by itself. That's my choice.
I would say that my favorite type of cheese has always been a smoked brie. It was one of the first cheeses that I had that really stuck out to me, and it's just kind of stuck around in my heart. I like the smokiness. Honestly, just any smoked cheese.
My favorite cheese, any cheese with truffle in it.
I'm very grateful for this bag of mozzarella, though my favorite cheese is camembert. Though I cannot disagree, I think all cheese is gooder. Cheddar later.
If I had to choose, Madame is also quite partial to a good, mature chèvre. Several other goat cheeses also make the top tier list for me.
I don't think that there is any wrong answer to what cheese you might like. This is just Colby Jack cheese. But the real question is, do you know what this is? Because if not, this will change your life. This is a cheese plane. Slice of cheese?
Hear me out. This has 10 grams of protein. Plus, the cheese will probably make Hazariel mad and yell about cheese in her new cheese outfit, so it's a double win.
Well, Sarah, your quote parmesan is actually made of powdered cellulose, so I guess enjoy your sawdust. And I'm not yelling! So I'm pretty happy with her right now, but we are not done, and I think I want to work on the more cheesy part. Cheese intensify! I don't know exactly what my plan is gonna be, but I do have this amount of foam. When they cut these pieces of foam, they have a lot of remnants. Oh, merde! Woohoo! In the end, I'm pretty happy about this deal. And I also had some inflatable donuts. How do you call that? Now we turn all that into cheese. This will be like a big wheel of cheese. I can make a lot of cheese pieces in this foam. I can make like a top for those so they don't have like this hole. I will have to make some sort of cover for all of this and paint it to look like cheese. Is this my dumbest project yet? Might be. Let's try all my stretchy materials because it's very stretchy. Now, obviously, I don't have fabric paint by huge containers, but I've seen online that you can use some softener, fabric softener. So let's see if that helps the paint. I did put some paint on all the types of materials that I have. I will leave all this to dry and we'll see tomorrow what's the best method. Bon appétit! Good morning! Okay, this looks good, but it's actually terrible. I used the heat gun on the foam to see. It makes a very nice
cheesy texture and also holds, but it doesn't hold anything. And I tried the paint, but it's just drinking the product, and it's really, there's no use for that one. I mean, this is just not working. I have to cover them. This is just the acrylic paint. It's fine, but it could crack a little. And this is acrylic paint with a lot of fabric softener, and it cracks. I did the same on this piece, but I've covered it in just a cotton jersey. Paint just cracks a lot more. I also tested on different types of fabric. It's all cracking. I just added a little bit of yellow and green to differentiate, but it's just the same paint with just a different amount of fabric softener. So all this was kind of expected, but I still wanted to try if the fabric softener was enough. Tablier! This is all the flexible paint and glue that I have. So hopefully that will be enough to paint 2 giant cheese wheels. Good old Flex Bond. That's actually pretty old. Okay. Great start. I cannot open this, so let's just destroy it. Okay, never mind, this one is dead. Super. Let's just leave that to dry for now, and we can work on the other part, which is actually building the cheese, and we'll see about that later. Yes, I did manage to put paint all over my body on just a small piece. Ah! Let's figure this out. That probably won't be enough. We need some structure. This is such a dumb project. But now that I'm thinking of the construction and the time I have, obviously I don't have enough in this to make all the circles that I would need to make like a top and bottom for this. But maybe if I piece them together, and also I still have this old gross mattress thing that I can use for the smaller cheese, I'll try to make it work. New blade. Ah, yeah. Neoprene. Ben voilà. Since this is the biggest I can go with the amount of foam that I have, I think I'm gonna ditch these big ones, and I'm just going to fill this with the smaller ones, so it will look a little bit more like a big wheel of cheese and still have some support on the inside. I think I'm gonna leave some opening on the side so I can access the inflatable thing if I have to blow some air in it. On my big cheese slices, which are gonna be attached to the hand, it's just pieces of PVC pipes that are flattened on one side, and I'm gonna try to find a way to make them into handles for the cheese. Before attaching the handle in here, I think I'm gonna protect this area from the skin of the one who is going to be holding it. To attach the handles themselves, I'm gonna use this sturdy denim. Hot glue here. Then we can sew it in place with some very sturdy cord. I'm just gonna finish gluing things. I'm doing it here in the tavern because the neoprene glue is making the whole room radioactive, so I'm just gonna glue here and then I can work again in my studio.
morning. We are done with the most messy part. So today, besides some cleaning up, I need to work on making all of the skin of the pillows, like covering them with the fabric. One is extremely stretchy and I have a lot of it. And we can figure out the painting situation. Without too much of a surprise, all the flexible paint is working very, very well. It's taking a bit of mishandling and stress very nicely. No stretching, no crackling. That's great. This is all that I have and I need them to paint the whole cheeses. It's also bonding to the foam and I think that's a good thing for sturdiness. We have the 3 big cheeses and this is all the pieces that I could turn into some sort of cheese-like thing. This is only what I have left. I'm cleaning all the shapes a little bit. There are plenty of little bumps in places that I don't want. But also I'm adding holes in other places. That foam is pretty easy to rip once you've made a little cut. Now we can finally add the skin, or the casing, I guess. A bit of hot glue is helping the fabric stay tucked in the holes. A little bit of glue here to protect my stitches. I thought I was making some sort of a mantle because look at the outfit, and also an elemental of a mantle. When you look closely at the holes that I made, they are kind of interesting. So I was thinking maybe we can go another way and also it will make it more interesting with the paint. And it is to go blue cheese. I have some research to do. Look at the shading. Look at those colors. Wow. This is a forme d'Ambert. This is a very light blue cheese for beginners. 1 part paint, 2 parts flex bond. First layer. The first layer is soaking the paint a little bit, but the next 2 and 3 layers were really easy to apply. And I fortunately had enough flexible paint. Mixing a tiny amount of regular acrylic to make sure I had the right shades. A big sponge for the texture. This technique is called the tapoting. Doing different layers with different shades on top of each other really gives depth to that wheel. Let's say this is a big wheel of parmesan. Parmigiano. And Laurent is making a morbier. And then we can add all the nice molds in the holes. That excellent blue flavor, which is much more green than blue. These cheeses are made as LARP weapons, so no blunt edges. People will hit each other really hard with them. And they need to survive the sun, maybe a tiny amount of water. And as a plus, you can sit on all of those. They're quite comfy. Today is the last in-game day. We need to bring all of our weapons. So that means more cheese for la fromagicienne.
J'ai un level up de costume. T'es bien en fromage Super Saiyan? Oui.
We are on our way to make the final fondue.
C'est la peignère dorée.